Episode 140 of Weighing In with Travis Hartman. I am B Money, the producer. That over there is the talent Weekend Trav. Weekend Trav, we got to talk about it. Journalistic integrity. Shakur Stevenson defeating Edwin De Los Santos in a barn burner.
Yeah, there were some records set there in that fight, and they weren't good records.
Yeah, so let's talk about that part. Neither fighter reached double-digit connections in any of the 12 rounds.
I mean, in a heavyweight fight,
that's double.
That would make sense that happens in heavyweight fights. These guys are 135 pounders. Usually they're like 1,000 punches a round. Or
yeah.
not a round, a fight. They're 1,000 punches a round or a fight or thrown.
So for those that watched on Thursday night of the spectacle that was probably what would be arguably the most boring main event in recent memory was this Shakur Stevenson, who has a lot of just positive momentum going behind his name. He's walking out with Terrence Crawford. He's got Floyd Mayweather back there, Andre Ward. So he's got the right kind of people supporting him and wanting to see him successful. He knows he fell flat on his face with that performance against a guy that he should have beat pretty handily. I know you and I both lost money on it because we took the under of 10.5 rounds on that. We thought, okay, that sounds pretty safe. It was not. And so because of that, we both had to drink Swill in a few moments. But we can Trav. Shakur Stevenson, where does he go from here? Obviously, the other guys around that weight range were all chirping on Twitter or X, whatever you call it now, because that's what they do nowadays, folks. They don't just go to the fight and point at them, ringside. They go on X or Twitter and make a comment because keyboard jockeys have the most guts out of anybody out there.
So, yeah.
Just kidding.
Address a couple of things. I do think, though, I underestimated Shakur's opponent a little bit. I do think he actually is more quality than I originally thought. I do.
Keep in mind, neither fighter landed
exactly
double digit.
So Shakur is claiming that he was injured going in. I absolutely hate when people do that too, because all I want to say is, too bad, postpone the fight. Okay, I don't care. You're the A side. If you're injured, they will postpone it, and it's okay.
Just say I sucked. I'll be better next time.
Amen. God bless. Hallelujah. When a fighter is brutally honest, I appreciate it. Shakur is good. The thing is, this will be in the rearview mirror of Shakur soon enough because we'll forget about it. And I think it's a good thing for the landscape, because when a guy fights like that, it shows some weaknesses, which means the rest of the guys they're like, let's go. And they really are. They're chirping about, I think Devin Haney was like, I'm going to offer this bum 10% of what I offered him.
What's hilarious about Devin Haney is that I'm thinking to myself while seeing this, I'm like, isn't this how Devin Haney fights? It's not exactly like Devin Haney has the most exciting fights in the world either.
He doesn't. And the difference too is also, I want to say that I do think Shakur is very highly skilled, and a lot of that fight was very highly skilled, but it was super boring. It was it would put the average fan to sleep. And again, they didn't get rave reviews for that fight. Okay, honestly, Shakur, what he needs to do to take this bad taste out of people's mouth is rematch the guy. If you're healthy, rematch him. Blow his doors off if you think you can. But this guy, did you hear what he nicknamed Shakur? It was Twitter Stevenson.
Something like that, yeah.
It was pretty funny. It kind of came true a little bit. He was like, your fingers move better than
these
your
young
hands.
bloods nowadays, Weekend Trav, these young bloods, they just love to chirp a lot online, and I can't stand it. I can't stand the fact that we have to do our marketing a certain way as well, and that's the way to connect. It's cool to connect with people that way, but the fact that these professional athletes, they are hiding behind their iPhone or their whatever.
Of everything now.
It's I can't say the word that it is, but it is that. And if you're listening to my voice, the first word that popped into your mind of this is super, that's what it is.
B-Money, you're speaking like we're so old, though. You say old. You speak like we're 70.
I might as well be. Weekend Trav, in today's day and age.
Not.
In today's day and age. But if you're a 41-year-old, they call you a boomer. Even though technically I'm the oldest millennial you possibly can be. They would refer to us as boomers because we're older, we have families, we own property, we have kids. They would call us boomers.
So we're established.
That's a better way to put it, I guess.
It's way better than
we're established. Speaking of being established, we also have our roots grounded in this bourbon game a bit too, but every once in a while we falter. And by faltering, I mean we pick a wrong choice. And then when we pick a wrong choice, we decide, hey, let's, instead of wasting it, Waste not, want not, I always say. Let's just pour it all into one container, swish it up, and use it as punishment. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the Swill. Weekend Trav and I both did the under on the Shakur Stevenson fight for rounds under 10.5, thinking,
too much confidence in Shakur we had.
Yeah, that was our bad.
The right guy still won, by the way, though. Shakur
correct,
won.
and he won that fight. There should be no question that he won that fight. It was just boring as hell. So that being said, I'm not going to leave you hanging because I also made the bet myself.
Remember, be careful over here. We're gonna go.
Oh yeah, it's a little cut on the glass, and if anything, we deserve it. We deserve it. So
this is a combination of some stuff.
It's some
wasn't it?
stuff. I don't know what's in there, buddy.
It was some stuff we didn't like.
There might be dead stuff floating around there for all I know.
There's some floaties, but I feel like it's bourbon, so there's floaties, it's still probably gonna like kill it all.
Yeah,
it's
minerals. There's no gnats
disgusting.
or anything. There might be gnats.
Yep, still smells like peanuts.
Peanuts. Let's be clear.
I wonder if the captions on Instagram would catch that.
I don't know. It probably will.
It probably will. I'm just taking one sip.
So am I. Same thing.
Not a sip. I'll take a drink, but like not like a huge
Same thing. So there we go. Your sip of the Swill Weekend Trav. Oh, that was a big sip of that. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm gonna.
I didn't even bring water today.
I'm gonna stir it up. Here we go. Bottoms up.
You don't want that one, dude. I feel like you liked it.
Oh my gosh.
My germs.
No, germs can't stay alive in that.
I know, it's so bad. If you're listening to us on Spotify and you just
we're not giving each other a massage with this noise. This is not what that is. This is we both just drank
awful.
A very weird combination of mixtures of bad bourbons called Swill as punishment
for not getting the correct prediction on the round. Well, you know what? We get our predictions right, but we did a prop prediction.
We shouldn't have done this towards the beginning of this episode because now everything is completely derailed. So I have written here on my pad Shakur Stevenson versus Edwin De Los Santos, so I know we were talking about that. Is there any final thoughts here with regard to Shakur Stevenson moving forward? Anything that you, professional fighter, been in this game since you were 6 years old, what do you got for us? Maybe some advice to Shakur going forward.
I mean, get back in the ring as soon as possible, get healthy, because the faster you get in the ring, the faster you can put this behind you. And that's all it is. He still got the W, so that's the thing. It's not the end of the world. It really is not. I mean, you're just getting some bad press, yes, but this is just, he's still super young. So I hope that he handles his bad press well. This could be a learning moment for him to handle the press in a bad moment. He's got Andre Ward in his ears, kind of like Andre Ward was his manager at one time, but he just kind of turned into an advisor a little bit. Andre Ward is probably one of the classiest, most professional guys that I know, and I appreciate Andre Ward as a fighter and all that. So I think Shakur needs to listen and let Andre mold him a little better and a little more and learn from this. But
I mean, listen,
ultimately his career is fine.
The titans of boxing that were just with him anyways, it is just incredible.
Yeah.
I mean,
they see the talent. He
you
does have talent.
Tune into the fight on Thursday just to see what was in the locker room,
right.
not what was going on in the ring.
It was, I think it was, what was it? Floyd, Andre, Terrence, and Shakur. I think somebody put up there the record. It was like 100 and something and was the record of all four of those guys, because all of them are undefeated. Andre Ward retired undefeated. Floyd retired undefeated. Terrence Crawford's still undefeated. Shakur's undefeated still, even though a boring fight. But the sum of it all is Shakur's going to be fine. His next fight needs to be a good one, though, because you can't do a snoozer twice in a row. You're allowed a snoozer. Everybody's had them. Mayweather's had plenty of them. All of the greats have had plenty of them. So you're allowed a snoozer here and there. But you're young, rebound, get healthy, get back in the ring. But stop this excuses, though. That's the
I
key.
hate that. For any athlete,
stop making excuses.
Any athlete,
tell the truth.
Especially when you win. Don't lead with the excuse, okay? Take your win.
Hey, listen, and the sad thing is, every professional boxer, you ask Terrence Crawford, Floyd Mayweather, Andre Ward, they'll tell you, I was never healthy going into a fight.
No, who is?
So that's why I hate that excuse, because none of us are usually 100%.
I hate when they interview, and this goes to any combat sport or any sport in general, when they interview the loser and they come with the litany of excuses as to why they lost. Just take your L, buddy. Just take the L.
Yeah. Be more professional. Be more old school. You know what? I lost tonight. The guy was better than me tonight. And that's the thing. That's all that happened. The guy, he might not necessarily be better than you all the time, but he was better than you tonight. He bested you tonight.
Yep.
Go back to the drawing board. Get back in the gym.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do.
We call it old school. You called it established.
Established school.
So, Weekend Trav, we are, the moment this podcast drops, this episode 140 drops on Wednesday. The next day is Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving to everyone at home. If you're listening to us on Thanksgiving or the day prior, whenever it might be, or afterwards, hope you had a great one. Now, let's move on then to the weekend of Thanksgiving. Big for college football. It's rivalry weekend. Big time games going on. We're not going to talk about any of them, but I will say, go FSU, go Noles. Hopefully you beat the Gators. Hopefully I'm happy about that one. But let's talk about, there's two cards that have gained some interest for us.
There are.
That are happening on Saturday right after Thanksgiving. One across the pond, one not. So it's a good full day, I would say, of boxing.
Yep.
Give us a little rundown here, Weekend Trav. What are we looking at?
Yeah, November 25th on DAZN, we have Chantelle Cameron versus Katie Taylor 2. They both are undisputed champions in their respective weight classes, but Katie Taylor went up to challenge for the 140-pound title. She lost the first one, so she's rematching her. I think it's a good fight. Katie Taylor, if anybody knows anything about Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano,
I'm looking forward
fight of the year.
I'm looking forward to our UK correspondent Dave Schroeder's take on that one, either pre or post. I don't, whenever he's able to do it. I'm curious to see what his take is on that fight.
Dave will have it. I spoke to him before we went on air, and he's going to be recording his as well. So we'll probably have it posted within Monday or Tuesday.
Ooh, got a lot going on.
You still feel that?
Yeah, there we go.
That's Swill.
Yeah,
so burp. Good fight.
Don't burp, by the way.
It's a good fight, period, because, like I said, Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano, I think, were a year-ender fight of the year last year, right?
It was a lot of people's.
Yeah, not just women's. We said that was our fight of the year.
I won money on that one. I won money on that fight. I was happy.
So... And we're going to be doing that roundup as pretty soon as well, probably December. But right now, Katie Taylor, Chantelle Cameron 2, tune in on DAZN. And people get weirded out by the word DAZN, but it's actually spelled D-A-Z-N. Think of it like this, DAZN. Z-O-N-E. It's like, it's the zone. It's
You're in
DAZN.
DAZN.
So that's why
that's how boomers talk.
It's spelled DAZN, but it's pronounced DAZN.
Yeah, it is a little confusing. So we got that. That'll start sometime mid-afternoon and go into the early evening. But then Weekend Trav, this snuck up on us a little bit, right? This
did,
fight.
actually. It very much did.
So let's talk about this. Let's talk about the fight that's going on that evening, the main event at least.
We got two undefeateds. David Benavidez is fighting Demetrius Andrade. Both guys are undefeated. Andrade is moving up in weight class because he used to own a title at 160 middleweight. He really couldn't get a lot of big fights. The guy, a lot of people honestly did. I don't say when they ducked him, but he's a very difficult fighter to fight. So a lot of guys didn't want to fight him for good reason. Like, he's very talented, but he's a slick boxer, and it's hard to look good against him. A lefty as well. But anyway, David Benavidez, this fight matters because of the WBC interim super middleweight title. That is the number one contender spot for Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez owns all 4 titles at the 168-pound division, which WBC is one of them. So while this is a big fight, is because David Benavidez has been talked about as Canelo's ducking him. I don't believe that. But I do think David Benavidez, after he can beat Demetrius Andrade, because he should, right? I do think that sets him up with a clash with Canelo late next year about this.
But I want to clear it up for everyone at home about we throw the championship terminology out way too often in boxing. This is really for what they're getting is a participation trophy. This is what it is. It's whoever wins gets the participation trophy and the potential of maybe being able to fight Canelo if so and so orders it and blah 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 blah. I hate when they put this interim belt crap around people's waists.
Yeah, let's just call it for what it is. It's the number one contender spot, and that's how it used to be in the olden days. The number one contender got to fight the champion, right? Back in the day, Ali and all of them, the number one contender fought the champion. So let's call that. This is what it is. It's the WBC number one contender spot. That's it.
Quit throwing belts on these guys.
Yeah, I mean, WBC, they really quickly learned how to make a business of this, and that was their business.
Yeah, because they charge these guys to hold the belts.
They get a sanctioning fee. They get a lot of stuff from this. The WBC, all the belts, to be fair, have really diluted the sport. But the WBC
I want a belt. Do we get a belt? Can we get a podcast belt?
I mean, B-Money, we should, because we are.
Well, because this is the number one beards, bourbon, and boxing podcast shot in Orlando, Florida, specifically Laureate Park, specifically in a boxing gym on the second floor of said boxing gym in the TH Boxing Podcast facility, shot on a Sunday or Monday, tonight being Sunday, dropping on
Wednesday morning at 7:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
in the world. That is us. We should get a belt for that, WBC.
We should. You know what? Just like everybody else, we're gonna
order it.
We're gonna create our own belts. We're gonna order it, and we're gonna present ourselves.
Yeah, because I don't want to pay an annual fee to them for this.
I did get a picture, and so did you, with the WBC belt.
Yeah.
But I think we're gonna make our own belt and get other people to take pictures with it too.
I like it.
Why not? We're the number. We are the number one boxing beard. The thing.
I just did that.
I just
already said that.
I know, but the thing that B-Money just said is going to be on our belt.
We should get a chain, like the University of Miami has a turnover chain, which they suck. Where's my money chain? My money chain's over there.
We need to get a T-shirt that says it on the back to all of the writing of the exact demographics of what we have to say. That would be awesome.
A lot of ink. Okay, so that's this weekend, Trav. Big time stuff. That'll be a lot of fun to watch. The second one's DAZN pay-per-view, correct?
No, it's not DAZN. It's CBS. I think it's Showtime pay-per-view. Showtime and CBS.
It's going to be one of the last ones for them, right?
I think so, because Showtime has officially gone out of business at the end of this year. So this one is part of that, because I know David Benavidez and Andrade have fought for the PBC series and those guys. So
shouldn't have paid Jake Paul so much money.
Yeah. No, they weren't on with Jake Paul. DAZN is different.
No, I said Showtime. Wasn't he on contract with them, remember? He was like a 6-fight deal or something.
Was he? I can't remember.
Anyways, we digress. Because that is coming up in Orlando in December. We don't want to talk about that right now.
We'll preview that at another date.
So we can Trav, I guess. I mean, that's 140.
Well, no. So something to go into is what we're drinking. We've had Angel's Envy before.
Yes, we have.
But you know why this one is special? Because a father of a fighter that I coached this weekend gave this to me.
Great.
So I would love to give a shout out to Chris Herzberg. His son, Joe Herzberg, who I train, won his first amateur fight. Also got a belt for his first
Congratulations.
Fight. So congratulations.
Yeah, that's great.
We took 4 fighters down there. Another fighter that won was Jordan Garcia. We had Xavier Garcia and we had Yandel. They fought amazing. Okay, they all fought their butts off. It all went decisions. That we definitely have a really good team here. So I want to congratulate all of them, as well as the Garcia family and Jimmy Garcia, who helped in the corners as well. So guys, we're building, and thank you again for the alcohol. You're right up my alley. I didn't know that he knew that I liked bourbon, and he brought some Angel's Envy, and I was like, you have no idea how much this is right up my alley.
Love it.
So I appreciate you, Chris.
Yes, thank you very much. I appreciate you too, though I don't know you, but I'll drink this gladly.
He said he wants to come have a drink with us, so we might have to do it.
Let's do it. Just not that stuff.
No more swill.
What's in here? Do we even remember what's in here?
Yes, I do. It was, oh my gosh. I know what it is, and I'll remember.
Is it one of those makers? Is it one of the makers? No.
It was a good one, though. It was a decent one. I kept the bottle up here somewhere, so I'll find it.
So we can try.
Oh, it's Heaven's Door.
Oh, okay.
That's which one.
I like Heaven's Door.
Yeah. It was a good one.
So here's what we're gonna do. We gave the shout out to the guys. Good job, guys, down south this weekend. That's awesome to hear.
Amateur boxer,
all the updates. We're gonna go to final thoughts, but because of Thanksgiving, I'm gonna go final thoughts. What's something you are thankful for, Weekend Trav?
Something I'm thankful for. Well, as everybody knows, I have a 2-year-old, just turned 2. My wife is pregnant with twins.
That's an easy one to be thankful for.
But even though she probably doesn't listen to the podcast all the time, like both of our wives, I'm going to give her props because she makes our house go around, man. Like, I'm so thankful for my wife. She's like, man, she's Jordan and I'm Pippen. I'm a role player, but she's running this show.
I feel like you're more like Bill Cartwright.
Listen, give me my final
John
thoughts.
Paxson.
You're still in my final thoughts.
Sorry, John Paxson.
I'm a good role player in this whole thing. Like, I mean that in a positive way. Like, my wife takes care of the house. I mean, she takes care of the baby. She's growing 2 babies at once. She handles a lot of my business stuff.
She's a businesswoman herself.
And she is. And she's actually capable of a lot of stuff on her own as a commentator, as a tennis coach, as a tennis player at high level. So having her, kind of confining her to the house and taking care of the family it's been tough all around, because she's capable of great things, but what she also knows, it's a blessing to be able to take care of her family and to raise our child and to be around the child and not send them off to daycare. We're very blessed for that. But honestly, I'm super blessed because this week I haven't had a day off. I've worked 7 days this week, and if it wasn't for my wife, the house wouldn't be taken care of, the baby wouldn't be taken care of, she wouldn't be fed, I wouldn't be fed. So I'm super, super thankful, and I mean that in every way. Now, you're not allowed to thank your wife, even though I know you want to, but you're not allowed to right now. So just, letting you off the hook here, Amber. He can't. I just did it. He can't repeat it. Next one he can.
I will say, so if it's my turn, I will say that, yes, I'm not going to piggyback off that and be like, oh, yeah, I thank my wife too. She's great. She is. And we're moving right now. We're in the middle of a move right now. I couldn't do it without her, so et cetera, et cetera. Yes. I give her all that love for that because I could not do this without her. But if I had something to be thankful weekend, Trav, it's this, is that the Green Bay Packers got back in the win column finally today. They squeaked out a victory against the LA Chargers. Are they LA now? LA Chargers, 23-20. I was so happy. I could put this shirt back on because I thought it was bringing them bad luck. So I put it back on after the win, which means now we have about a 5-game losing streak ahead of us because I put that shirt back. Listen, Jordan Love, get this. Jordan Love, our quarterback who has been, I don't know, mischaracterized, misaligned. I don't know. He put up a 300-yard game today. You know the last time a Green Bay quarterback did that? 300 yards. That happens all the time in the NFL.
Right?
Remember the last time that happened for the Green Bay Packers?
Aaron Rodgers.
2021. Yeah, Aaron
Rodgers
Rodgers.
Didn't do it in 2022. He didn't have a 300-yard game in 2022.
Nope.
Wow.
Yeah, first time.
That's pretty cool.
We've had a 300-yard throwing game for one of our quarterbacks since 2021.
That's kind of impressive, actually.
That's pretty sad. That's pathetic.
That's
low-key pathetic.
But pretty impressive for Jordan Love.
Amazing. So I'm thankful for that. Oh, my gosh. With all the gut-wrenching issues with moving and all the stress and anxiety that comes with that, I needed a positive weekend, Trav. And that, my Florida State Seminoles got a big-time win yesterday, but our starting quarterback went down in the first quarter, probably with an ankle break, it looked like, or dislocation. He's done. His career at Florida State's done. So I'm tough for Jordan Travis. Love that guy. He has big things ahead of him in the NFL.
He's got a great last name, too.
Oh, yeah. Well, first of all, you love his first name because this is the Jordan year.
100%.
You know,
and I will break it down for everybody.
I'm sorry, Weekend Trav. I know we already did final thoughts of thankfulness, but we need Saturday's main event to really shine through for this Jordan year thing to continue because I don't have a lot of faith and confidence in the December, heavyweight mania event going on with Eddie Hernandez. Yeah, I don't have a lot of faith in that.
It's kind of a cool event, though. I think it's going to...
There's a lot of big-time names on it, all not fighting one another.
Well, yeah, Joseph Parker is a really good name fighting...
That's the only fight that's intriguing.
That's a really pretty one. But they're heavyweights, and I think it's going to deliver for the average fan. But I think on the major scene, what you're saying, B-Money, don't speak too fast because all it's going to take is one lucky shot from one of those guys to totally dilute and mess up the whole heavyweight scene even more.
But that's why we do this weekend, Trav. This is why we talk about it because just like any other sports talk type of show or whatever else, we have our opinion. Then 2 days from now it could be completely different. We're going to talk about that one now. And there's always something to talk about. Always something to talk about.
Heavyweight division.
That over there is the talent weekend, Trav.
That there is B-Money, a.k.a. producer, a.k.a. the man, the myth,